Today we're going to show you how to make a simple beat in GarageBand. Alright, first step is when you're in the first little page or whatever, you want to go over to New Project, and it's going to look a little deceiving, but you want to press Choose. Perfect. Now that we're in, it doesn't really matter what you pick because you're just going to use loops anyway, so you can just pick mic or line. Alright, great. Now that you're in, you want to press O on your keyboard to open up loops. And then once you have loops open, I like to start with the drums because it kind of builds everything else up. So you're just going to want to go over to all drums, right? It says over here. And you're just going to want to kind of scroll through all of the options here. You can listen to some. There's this one I like. Let me search it up real quick. This one. Let's see. It's a pretty simple beat. And then once you find the one you like, you want to drag it below this initial thing you have here. Perfect. And then we can just put that out just for 4 bars right now, which you can do at this top right little loop thing. Okay. And now that you have your drums, you probably want a rhythm or something. And what I like to do for that is just simple guitar. Guitars for all guitars, and click acoustic guitars just for acoustic guitar. See, and I think this one sounds pretty good. So we're just gonna put this one over here. And then before we add anything more, let's just listen to it real quick. Nice. Okay. And then we're also just going to drag this out for 4 bars. And then let's see. Another thing you can add is bass, which helps build everything else up. Let's see. This one I like is stand bass. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, great. So now that we have this simple thing going up, we're going to want to put it out just for 8 bars, so it can be just a normal little verse. And then Gavin's going to take it over for the chorus.
Hey guys, so I'm going to be explaining the chorus. So for the vibe that we're going for, instead of having a drum for the chorus this time, we're going to have a beat. So you can go to the beat section instead of clicking all drums. And I'm going to look for this one that I really like. It's called Vital Structure Beat 2. Just going to go right on the same line as the drums. And then make that out for, right now, 10 measures. Wait, no. That'll be 10. Never mind. Sounds pretty good. Anyways, so next we're gonna want our guitar. Hold on. I'm gonna go to our acoustic guitars and pull our alternative acoustic. Instead of using number 9 this time, we're gonna use number 7. So we're gonna put it in the same line, make sure it's all good, and listen to how it sounds. Okay, sounds good enough. So this time, this feels a little empty, so we're gonna add some bass to really fill out that and fill up all that space. I'm gonna look up West End. Let me go to West End Bass 2 and listen to how that sounds. And then we want this to sound different than the verse. So we want to make this a little longer, first of all. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some piano. So we're gonna add Cali. Hold on, wrong thing. We're gonna go to piano section, and we're gonna look up Cali Vibes Piano. It's the only one of its kind, so you can't mistake it. It goes right on here. And then kind of zoom in a little bit, just so you can get that spread. Instead of doing the same one, looping it over again, because if you listen, it wouldn't sound very good if it was looped. So we want to find a different piano. So we're gonna go Broadcast, which is another one. So here and listen to it. So now we're done with the chorus. If you listen to it, you can kind of hear that the piano is really loud. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go and we're going to look at our instruments, sit more. So you can see that it's kind of like getting into that yellow when it gets about here. So we want it to be a little bit quieter so that every other instrument can be heard. So we want to probably bring that down to -3 decibels. And we'll listen. Now it's just a little bit quieter, it's not as loud. And we want to do that for each of these so that they sound really well mixed. So you want to make everything flow together. So we go. Maybe bring the bass where it is. Bring the beat down a little bit. Just adjust it as much as you can. Okay. Now that we have this really solid beat, nothing in that piano a little bit, because it's still a little loud. So you want to get it to maybe about 5 decibels. And then what we can do is, if we want to completely change how the song sounds, we can go up here. If you look, there's the tempo, the key signature, and the time signature. For now, we're not going to mess with the time signature, but we're going to mess with the key signature. So there's A major, all these keys. So we're going to use B minor. And then we're going to put the tempo down all the way to 80. And now let's listen to how that sounds. It's very different vibes. You gotta know what you want the sound to sound like before you do anything. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the verse, which is the first part of the song, we're gonna move it, we're gonna copy, and we're gonna paste it right here. And then we have our second verse. And then we're gonna take our chorus, we're gonna do the exact same thing. And now we have song structure. So we have a verse and another chorus. And that's a full song. You can also, if you want to see how long your song is, you can go here and beats and time. So we have a 1:18 long song. And that's it. Bye-bye.